he wants done to this car, why. But most importantly, first we want to get into the story about how this car became his. Ryan?
So, I've been in drag racing for a very, very long time. It started out with street racing. Since then, I've taken the street car, like most of us have, and we build it up in stages to the point where it becomes a race car and not a street car anymore. Well, there was a raffle, and I decided I wanted to get in it because me and my son wanted to have those street cars. We can go out and have some fun. As you know, the Camaro that I have is not a street car that I can take my son in. I got into the raffle. There was 2 tickets, $165 a ticket. $330 I have invested in this. I was fortunate enough to win it. I have a Foxbody just like I had prior before I had the Camaro. It is outfitted the same color scheme, same everything. Only difference is this is a true street car. There's everything on here is all bolt-on stuff. There's no mini tub, stock block, all that stuff. So who else am I going to take it to other than the guru of stock suspension and Mustangs is my man Dave Zimmerman.
So you've already had the car at the track.
Yes.
You ran it as it is, just as you got it. How did it perform?
I was impressed myself. I drove this car to Milan Dragway, which was about a 45-minute drive. The whole point of this car after I won it was I wanted to get some info, get some times on this, and get some numbers so that when we get the Team Z stuff installed and everything that's getting done to this is all off-the-shelf bolt-on stuff. I wanted to show the world what I already know, how good these products are. Unfortunately, in grudge racing, I only show that by the wins that I have. I can't show anyone tickets. So I sat down and I called Dave and I said, this is what I want to do. And Dave made a suggestion of leave the car alone, take it out to the track, and make as many passes as you can, and try to get the fastest pass that you can get out of it. I think the best pass I have right now is a 1073. And don't quote me, I want to say it was a 150 something 60 foot. Anytime I tried to leave on the trans brake, knocked the tire off. So I had to foot brake it, you know, went 1073 on motor. This is a stock Windsor block. It's an all bolt-on stuff. And what we're trying to do is we want to add all the Team Z stuff. We want to do everything in increments, show you the difference in weight, show you the difference at the track. The people that help me, I want to showcase exactly on a time ticket on how valuable they are. I don't want people just to say, oh, they're a sponsor, that's why Brian's going to them. I want you to understand why I go to Team Z, and you're going to see that with this car. You're actually going to see what their products do. It's not something I'm just trying to put because Dave's family to me. You are going to see what these guys can do.
Now, this car, it does have aftermarket front and rear suspension on it. It's not as Ford delivered in 1980, whatever this car is. It is aftermarket suspension. It's got some Megabyte Juniors or South Sides on it. It's got some adjustable uppers. It has an aftermarket K-member, but it's got a stout little engine in it. You want to tell us about the engine, Brian?
Yeah, so to my knowledge, you know, it's a stock block. It's got some AFR heads on it. They have not been worked on. It's got a little 600-inch roller cam in it. You know, it's pretty stout. It was on E85, and I switched it over because I don't know anything about E85 and nitrous. So I had the guys at FST send me a new carburetor for gas, and it's been amazing. What I do want to do is I noticed when I was driving it, you know, when I won the car, it has the 17-inch rims on the front. Well, it rubs. So I know that when Dave installs his K-member and his control arms on it, that it's going to suck that tire in a little bit. And it's also going to give me more control of my front suspension components, whether it's shock, delimiters, you know, things like that. And that's what we're going to do. You know, we're going to get rid of this old stuff and put the new stuff in and show everybody exactly what it does. Just the bolt-in stuff. You go on their website, you order it, you unbolt the stuff and bolt their stuff in. No fabricating, bolt-in stuff.
And the whole goal of this is we don't have a lot of fresh install videos, so we're going to install the whole thing and do it in stages. We're going to do rear suspension first, then front suspension. But after each part is installed, we're going to take it to the track and see what the improvement was from this set of parts. So our entire plan for the rear suspension is to put our grip series on, which is our uppers, lowers, and anti-roll bar, our custom valve small tire shocks, and our drag springs on the back, and then take it out and see if we can improve on that 155 or 159 60 foot and see what the improvement is. and then it's got an old school, it looks like a D&D K member with some looks like our solid motor mounts. So we're gonna swap out the K member because we know ours is lighter. And like Brian says, we're gonna put a shorter set of A-arms on because they've went to, I believe they're SN95 spindles and brakes, so they could have a 5-lug on it. So we're gonna pull them back in under the car and help a little bit with aerodynamics and handling, and so that you won't have any rub issues. And then we're gonna go, one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull off what we took off and weigh it, and weigh what we're putting on too, so that we can show you the difference between our K member and an old school K member and potential weight savings, and then see what those weight savings are worth at the track.
And then after this year, this car, the whole purpose of this car is we're doing everything in stages, like Dave just said. So this year, like Dave told me, you know, when we do this, we have to do it right. So we had to keep something constant, and that's the motor. We are not changing anything to this motor all year long. Nothing is getting changed while all the teams and components get put on.
Unless we blow it up.
Unless we blow it up, which it may happen. I don't know.
It happens.
But the goal is, you know, I already ordered a new block, and we have a nice LS motor that we're going to put together. So this year, our goal is to showcase the improvements that we can see over what is here into the new Teamsy stuff. Next year, my goal is to show you how fast you can actually go with that stuff.
What was that 60-foot time you threw out that you wanted?
I like to go a 10 something. I like to see if I can get a street car to go 109.
We're going to try and go a 10, you know, 108, 109, 60-foot on a street car, non-mini tub, with a radial tire and all bolt-on off-the-shelf suspension.
And drive it to the track.
And drive it to the track.
Everything will be the same. Everything will be the same, you know, because a lot of times when this happens, people always say, well, did you do this? Did you do this? Every time I take this to the track, it's getting drove to the track. So, you know, the possibilities of something being different are very, very small. The only thing we have to worry about is just the weather. That's it. It's getting drove to the track, everything. Like you said, you're doing the front suspension, you're doing the rear. We do one thing at a time, we're taking to the track. So you can showcase to the customers what it's worth, weight-wise and ET.
And one thing I'd like to point out too is if we do improve on the 60-foot time, that will be phenomenal, because when Brian first did the first part of the A to B, it was springtime. It was a lot cooler.
Yeah. The
track was good. There was, you know, it wasn't hot and greasy. So
it was 60-something degrees for a high that day.
When we get it back to the track, chances are it's going to be 90, 95 degrees. So we may have to wait till evening to get even close to those conditions.
Yep.
But it's going to be in the heat of the summer too. So.
And outside from that, I just know that when I tried to leave on a trans brake before and it just would not move, I had to foot brake it. I would even take the trans brake down to 2,500 RPMs. The minute I let go, just wanted to knock the tire off. For whatever reason, I had to foot brake it, and I had to give it a little bit of gas to kind of preload the suspension, I guess. And at that time it would work, but the tire was still kind of hazy, so I feel like I was at the max of what could happen. So if we're able to go out and I can go back to using the trans brake, that alone lets me know that we're going in the right direction, because before this, I couldn't use that, I couldn't leave off of it.
Basically what I want to do is say stay tuned, because you're going to see the whole progression of this car from you know, a 10-second street car to something that actually gets down any track that you want to get it down, and will probably work good on the street, to the progression to a 4-second in the 8th mile street car, because that's his goal, to put an LS in here with nitrous.
Yep.
and run some 4-second passes on a true street car that he can take to Bob Joe's and get ice cream.
And then when I'm done there, I can take it down to Memphis or Oklahoma and get down with those guys too.
Yeah. Cool.